my husband this morning. We're doing a small demolition. And so I just wanted to first say hi to you guys. I hope everything's going good. I hope everybody is keeping on track with their schoolwork. You know, it's really amazing. We're more than halfway through, so hopefully everybody's just really on track, keeping your grades up and, you know, looking ahead to what you're doing for yourself. But in this demolition, just kind of showing you, you know, we're going to go really from top to bottom. But the whole goal is to have it kind of fall in on itself in order to be able to keep all of the demolition material on the footprint and keep everything as clean as possible around the job site. And so they've already gone through and taken a look at the entire project and made sure that, you know, anything like paint cans or loose debris that might, you know, fly in an unpredictable situation, any kind of tires or anything that's not going to go well in the truck when the truck gets here to load, then they'll try to separate out most of that if possible. This project will most likely be done 100% today. There's about a 6-inch concrete slab that it sits on. There's no anticipated footings for this. If there are any footings, it would be construction industry practice to not expect more than just footings at the columns for this type of a build. And so when they're doing a demolition estimate, they're really not putting in money to be able to take out large footings or anything like that. So that would be an unforeseen condition that he would have to react to at that moment in time if that's what they found. A project like this doesn't have as-built drawings. This is a relatively old project, so there are no drawings to refer to see how it was built or what the intention was when it was built. So the contractor really doesn't have any idea of whether or not there's any footings here. So because that's not expected, he would not have included that in the bid. The gentleman is standing off to the side. A lot of times, nice to have a laborer looking out for things, making sure that other people aren't getting too close to the project site, making sure that they're ready to jump and pull any kind of debris out of the way that the contractor might need. It's important that they stay a safe distance away because you never know what's going to fly backwards as the contractor is taking the equipment and, you know, breaking things up. So again, I do have to say my husband's probably one of the best demolition guys, and so you'll see that this will be a very clean job when they're done. I'll send some pictures of it. Just one note too, you can see that Shad is watering the location. That's to keep dust down, any kind of construction dust that might happen. You know, if there was asbestos in this, which there's not, that would keep it from being airborne. So I like to be able to kind of keep things moist and keep the dust down. Once all of this wood debris is piled, then what they will do is move it off of the pile if the trucker is not here yet and save it for the truck. And then they will begin with the hammer and start the demolition of the concrete and start breaking it up so that it can all fit in the dump truck. He expects about 4 truckloads for this, and one of the reasons is because of the 4 different types of debris that they're working with. They have an aluminum C-band that they will be getting rid of as well. So 2 loads for the concrete, 1 load for the wood, and 1 load for the aluminum. I don't know that he's going to keep any of this project because we don't have a dump truck here to save anything. But sometimes on projects like this, you know, you might choose to go ahead and salvage big beams like the ones that are being used as the columns and be able to refurbish those. So for this project, it looks like they're just going to go ahead and throw everything in the truck. Hanging on long enough to see if you guys are going to be able to see the top portion of the demolition. Right now what he's doing, he's crunching the material so that he can make it into smaller chunks for the truck so that they can pack the truck that's going to be taking all of the debris to the landfill, that they can crunch that up really small and fit it all into the truck nicely. Equipment that he's using here is just a Mini X that we have. He does have some bigger equipment, but this one is able to be pulled nicely behind the truck, and so it's the piece of equipment that he prefers to use the most if he can. It makes the biggest profit for us. It's an owned piece of equipment, but you can tell that there's times that, you know, the weight of the equipment isn't quite what it needs to be able to pull something down, and so that front blade that you see on it, he would go ahead and brace himself and put that down on the ground to be able to provide a little bit more traction if he was working on something that was a little bit heavier. But it's just taking your time, and with each piece of equipment, you know, you're just going to go a little bit at a time. If it needs a heavier piece of equipment, then you just don't take off more than you can chew, right? The one thing I love about watching my husband work is that he really is like one of the cleanest demo guys ever that you will see, and this job site will look immaculate when he gets done. Hoping to see if we're gonna, you know, that's not what I wanted to see. I want to see the top go, but I have a feeling he might end up taking both sides down before he takes the top down, but we'll see. Give just a little bit more time, and you don't want to make your video too long, take up too much of your day, but certainly would love the opportunity for you to see what this all looks like. That's really important is that the person that is on the ground is completely aware and paying attention to the operator all of the time. And you know, there are specific hand signals that are for the most part, the operator and laborer will end up developing their own little language, and so they'll work very closely together because it's the operator's job to keep the laborer safe and the laborer's job to pay attention to everything going on around them. So the more he's able to scrunch that up, the more they'll be able to get into the truck, which will save costs in the number of truck trips that need to happen for the debris. Shad is just helping out as a laborer today. He's done a couple jobs with Bub and worked for him. He just got done with lineman school, so he's just back for a little bit, and then he will be going back to Montana to look for a job out of California. There's some lineman opportunities. Okay, so the operator just told him stand back. We're gonna see if we can get a collapse on this top load, taking out the beams on both sides. Again, just bringing it straight down, making sure that it doesn't pop back towards the neck. Just taking a second just to kind of see where things fall, and now he's just going to be able to crunch up the rest of it. So, that's about it. The rest of it is just going to be a repeat. And so you got to see the fun part. And I'll take a picture and show you guys what it all looks like when we're done.